Hey everybody. Okay, so the real reason why I'm homeschooled, it is more about the 8th grade incident, which you guys have heard me mention, but I've never actually gone through it talking about it, because that's just really hard to bring up for me, because I'm just, like, so ashamed of myself for it, and I don't know, I'm like almost mad at myself for that part of my life that didn't need to be that way, but that's what your mind can do to you, apparently. And so it ruined a lot for me, and it really was hard for me. Sorry guys, it's hard to talk about because it is such a touchy subject for me, but I really want to make this video to help other people, or if I could even help one person to tell them they're not alone with maybe the same stuff as I, then that'd be absolutely amazing. Well, it's about my eating disorder. I obviously am not underweight or anything right now. I'm healthy now, but I was, in 8th grade. I had a time, we went on a trip, I don't want to say where, just because I don't want to give any of that information out, but we went on a trip, for our school, and we all went together, and my eating disorder came back full force, and pretty much I just didn't eat, and I wouldn't eat, and it became a big deal with the whole school, like the whole school district. They were like calling nurses and all this stuff, like they didn't know what to do with me because I refused to eat. So they were going to take me to the hospital and admit me, but I said no because you guys, well, some of you guys know that I have a deathly like fear of hospitals, and I hate that. And so that really, especially after my surgery, I have such fear of them. So I'm like, I don't want to go back to the hospital, you know, kind of thing. So I stuffed down what they told me to eat, and then they told me to drink amount of water and stuff like that. But it was a 3-day trip, and it was just bad. And before the trip, it was pretty bad too. Like it was all leading up to it, kind of thing. And I wouldn't drink water. Like I was just mad. I wouldn't do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I was really bad at that point. I felt very low in my self-esteem. I felt as if my mind was not there. Like I kind of just shut down and shut out of the world, and started doing things that I would have never done if I was in the right frame of mind, because it took me so long to recover from that, and then it comes back, and I actually go through starving myself again. And I thought I'd be able to get away with it. That's why I did it, because but I'm not very good at hiding it anymore. I mean, I got very good, but I'm not that good anymore. And my friends know about it, type of thing, so they knew what to look for, and I would just hide my food in napkins, all that stuff, and my friends got scared, so they told the principal and, like, the nurse and everything, and it just became a really, really big deal. And then it carried over to, after the trip, obviously, they would start watching me at school, and, like, making sure I don't throw up and all that stuff. And it was just a really bad experience, but, I'm not going into great detail. I mean, if you want me to go into more of a detailed video, I will do that for you, but just pretty much I starved myself, and my eating disorder came back, and it was bad. I keep saying it was bad, but that's all I can describe it as. And then, so that just screwed with my head like crazy, and then like I one time had a teacher follow me into the bathroom, and he was a guy. So I was not trusted anymore, but I couldn't trust myself either, because at school I'd stop eating. It continued, and at school I wouldn't eat lunch, and then I'd have a little bit for breakfast, you know, trying to keep, like, my parents, you know, from not knowing, kind of thing. But it started getting bad that year, And then over the summer, it got better because I was out of school and kind of out of the way from the people that were influencing me to go back into my eating disorder. I'm not saying names, but there were a few girls that were trying to get me back into it, and they succeeded, which they wouldn't have if I would have just talked myself out of it, but I didn't. I wasn't strong enough because I was afraid and vulnerable, and just, I can't describe it, the feeling I felt, and I was really scared. It was a really hard moment in my life for me, and it carried over to 9th grade when I went to the high school. Like I said, the whole school district knew about it because it was a big deal. It wasn't just, oh, I didn't want to eat lunch. Like, it was a big deal, and I confided in the principal, so she knows everything about me, so that was interesting. But then, now, it carried over, like, to the high school, and I didn't want that. I thought it would be okay. Like, I'd start fresh at a new school kind of thing. Like, it wasn't at middle school anymore. I'd go to a high school, and I thought it would get better. It didn't. It got worse, because I was still around certain people that triggered it, and it was bad again, and then I just started skipping meals again, and it just started dwindling down, and I knew something was wrong with me. Like, I knew my mental status was not correct, because I'm normally a happy-go-lucky person, but I couldn't help myself. I was trapped in this mind, and I needed to do these compulsions, and I started, my OCD got pretty bad too. I would start, like, rituals and stuff like that, but they were all about, like, how I looked and everything, and I knew that wasn't normal. Like, I came to the point where I knew something was wrong with me, and I didn't want to get worse, or end up in the hospital, or do any of that stuff, or get more of the school involved. I just wanted everyone to go away. So one day at school, it was a spare of the moment kind of thing. I went down to the nurse's office, and I said I need to go home. And she's like, what? You know, like, why? And I said a few things that I don't really want to share. But I pretty much was, like, mentally unstable at that time. I was completely shaken up and didn't really know what to do. So I just said, oh, the first thing that came out of my mouth was that I'm not in the right frame of mind, but in different words. But pretty much that's what I said. And she allowed me to call home, and I told my dad on the phone, I'm never coming back, I'm being homeschooled. And to this day, now I'm in 10th grade, they still call me and try to get me back to the school, because they feel like it's not helping me to be homeschooled. They feel like it's going to make everything worse, and it's not. My friends' parents, they all know about this, and it just it's annoying. It's hard. I don't like it, and so I try to avoid it as much as possible, but there's always triggering things all around me. Dance is so triggering for me. It's just, every day I go there, I just always think of it, and then I have to push it away, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not right thinking. I don't want that anymore. I want to recover. So I have to constantly give myself a prep talk in the morning and stuff. I have a list of reasons why not to starve yourself and everything, and why to love yourself and all that stuff. And that helps me, because the days, like, I do love myself. It's just, half of me loves myself, and then the other half hates me. And it's hard to explain, because I make videos about loving yourself, because you should love yourself. Like, I know that you should. Like, I know the right mental status, but my brain just doesn't always go there, and it'll shut down, and I'll just shut down mentally. And I'll just want to be basically trapped in my house and in a depression, or with the eating disorder thoughts inside my head. And I want to be free from it. I want to be a normal person that doesn't have thoughts or bad feelings after eating. I don't want to be, like, the only way I know how to diet, really, well, diet. If I start a diet, I will automatically just go into an eating disorder. I can't diet. I can't say, oh, I'm going on a diet. I just have to try to eat healthy foods. I can't count my calories, or else that'll cause me to go into it. Like, there's so many things I can't do that a normal person would be able to do healthily, but I can't diet healthily. I have to, I just have to consciously, you know, pick the right choices and stuff like that. And, of course, not go into binges and all that stuff. But, yeah, I wanted that chapter in my life closed. And if you guys know me from my other channel, I used to have reborns, and they were helping me through that time in my life. And now that I'm getting better and I'm done with I want to be done with recovery. I know I'm never going to be fully recovered. I just know it's always going to be a lifelong struggle, because it's just how it is. But I know that I'll have my good times and my bad times. But I want to close that chapter in my life. That's why I deleted that channel. I want to move forward in my life and try to do what I want with my life, and do it in a healthy way, and no longer have these thoughts of, I almost said killing myself, but no, not that, eating disorders and OCD thoughts and stuff like that. My OCD is a part of my eating disorder. Like, if somebody says one thing to me, that I'll take it wrong, completely take it wrong, and then it'll send me into depression, and I won't want to eat. So just one thing, they say, I take it the wrong way, but obviously they didn't mean it in that way. Just family members, they'll compliment how skinny one of my sisters are, or something, how skinny they're getting, and I'll be like, oh my god, they didn't say that to me this time. Oh my god, should I go lose some weight? I probably should. And then I won't eat anything at the party, and then yeah. But I realized that my family just stopped talking about my weight, how thin I was getting and all that stuff, because the more they said, oh, you're looking so thin and whatever, that made me want to keep going. So they don't say that anymore. And I have to realize that's why they're saying it. It's not because of anything else. It's just the brain, like, my brain functions that way, and it's not correct thinking, obviously, but hey, I'm going to keep working on it. But I want all that in my life, that chapter kind of closed in my life, of all the bad feelings and all the bad stuff like that. I just kind of want that part in my life closed, and I feel like by closing that account, by kind of readjusting, that's why I'm redoing my room. I'm redoing my certain things just to help me. I don't know if everybody understands. Like, I'm not trying to change who I am. I'm trying to change those thoughts and those compulsions and all that stuff, so I just can move forward and become healthier and not have to starve myself to be beautiful in my eyes, you know, because I don't know. But obviously today's a good day. That's why I'm making this video. Today's a good day for me. And I know what the right mindset that I should be thinking, but sometimes that part of my brain shuts off, and yeah. But that's why I'm homeschooled. If I ever did go back to school, I think I would have a mental breakdown, just because I've gone so far in my recovery just by doing homeschooling. And if I went back, I'd be scared of what would happen, of what my reaction to everything would be. So I think I'm going to stick